Welcome to the Enterprise Thought Leadership Podcast, where we explore the latest in enterprise trends, tech, and strategy with the top leaders shaping the future.
Hi, my name is Kanika Goswami, and I'm the managing editor of Enterprise Talk, which is our enterprise publication. We have engaging conversations with global thought leaders and industry experts, which reach over 1.3 million business leaders worldwide. With all the conversations around AI and the recent concerns around job displacements because of AI, one thing is certain, that it isn't replacing people. It is amplifying what they do best. We discuss this paradigm today with Arturo Buzzalino. He's a Chief Innovation Officer at Epicor. He brings 2 decades of experience in industrial AI and enterprise technology, and he's seen firsthand how AI is reshaping work, not just by improving efficiency, but by liberating human talent for higher value, more creative thinking. Arturo is a Group Vice President and Chief Innovation Officer at Epicor, which is a leading ERP software company. He's a visionary leader with a rich background in data science and artificial intelligence. With a decade of experience at SAP Labs, he was instrumental in incubating cloud and data as a service, which is DAS product, including the launch of SAP's inaugural DAS product. Welcome to the conversation, Arturo. Arturo, it's great to have you here with us today.
No, great. Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So I will not ask you questions and expect answers from you. I'll put out ideas and then you can share your opinion on them. That works for you?
Yeah, no, perfect. That's probably the best when talking about AI. So yeah.
And there is so much to talk about. And this may well go beyond the point which I'm giving you. So if you think that there is more to add, you're welcome to add to it.
Sure.
So first of all, what would you want to speak on about workforce anxiety? It is said that AI replaces tasks, not people, but the anxiety hasn't quietened down. So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a great question. It's also a philosophical one because I think it's not as, it's difficult to answer because it's not something that's just, you could make an argument one way or another, but I think for me and especially what I've seen and because I work with it every day, my teams work with it every day, our customers work with it every day, and really what we're seeing, the patterns that we're seeing is people are doing less and less of these repetitive tasks, right? So like things where maybe you're writing long pieces of text or maybe you're reading something and trying to consume something that's large, right? And like extract insights. Because really what you want to do is you want to get to a decision. As humans, we're really good at creativity. We're really good at strategic decisions. So what I'm seeing more and more actually is it's empowering people and allowing more strategic decisions and less repetitive. So I think if anything, it'll allow people to do more of what we're good at and what we like to do, and less of the repetitive, right, and the mundane. I like to say that, right? So it allows us to do the creative and the strategic more than the repetitive and the mundane.
So what you're saying is really the workforce anxiety concept could be misplaced because there is really nothing to fear. It's just that it's going to add value.
Yeah, I think exactly. I think it's going to add value, and I think what it is, it's change. It's going to change. But and a lot of times when we're faced with change can be scary. Change can be disruptive. It will be disruptive, but I think it won't be a replacement. It'll be different, right? And I think and I always say, right, the more you can use these tools, and they're very easy, right? They're built in a way that's they're very interactive, like from a human perspective, very intuitive. So what I would say is try to use these things in your everyday, and yeah, it really is almost natural. So from a change perspective, I don't see it will be disruptive, but I don't think it'll be as difficult, as people are thinking it will be.
There's a small point, and just help me out here. So, for instance, if an organization has 15 coders or developers on their roles today, and we have AI tools that can do the job faster, coders and developers will have to reskill to be able to get to another level, or maybe to another job work or another domain of expertise. would it not be akin to losing the job that they're already doing to AI?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question, but let's talk about that specific example. So right, so like a group of, let's say, 15 people that code. Maybe they're every day, right? So they're doing architecture requirements. They might be doing coding itself. What we're finding is, and actually we've done this study in our teams. Like, we have thousands of engineers. Really, when you analyze the time a developer spends, actual coding is actually not most of the time. It's like it ends up being 15 to 20% of the time is actually spent on coding. Most of the time is spent on design, requirements gathering, understanding how to architect the solution. So really, what's going to happen is it's going to allow more of that thinking of architecture, thinking of the requirements, worrying about, hey, let me talk to customers, let me figure out exactly what problem we're solving and how we're solving it. So if anything, what it'll do is it'll speed up the amount of work or the amount of the output, right, that the team will have. And to me, right, so one argument is, hey, we don't have to hire anymore because like now our output's great. Or another argument would be, and by the way, there will be companies that do this, is, oh, now I can hire more and I can 10x, right, what I've been doing. So when I hire 10 more people, it's the same as hiring 100 10 years ago, right? So if anything, I think it'll accelerate the rate of innovation within companies, and then the competition, right? Because people are going to compete with each other. And so if anything, I think it'll be an acceleration. And honestly, I know a lot of people talk about like the GDP explosion. I think it'll be tremendous growth for us, for our economies, for especially in software. I think we're going to see a renaissance in software development.
So this is a very fresh new take, because the cliched argument is that the AI will take away our jobs.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Yeah. No, I'm very positive on it. I think the future is very bright.
The way you put it, it is actually going to be working like that. The lowest rung of work can be taken up by bots or AI tools. But yeah, the thinking and customer connect that humans can have, they will not be able to have, so of course.
Exactly.
So you would say that AI augments roles, freeing teams to focus on strategy and improvement. And it is not going to be a displacement, it's going to be an augmentation, right? What about other kind of roles, maybe mid-level management or senior roles? Decision making.
Yeah, and decision making, I think even more, right? Because now what's going to happen is, like for example, even me in my everyday, I'm able to consume so much more, right? Because like I'm getting emails, messages, like from so many different areas, and what I'm using more and more of these tools to really help me in my decision making. Not so much the strategic side of like, and the creative side of making the decision. That's still mine, but it's more about, hey, can you help me, these 3 pages, maybe what are the 3 takeaways, and then I can get to the decision faster, right? So if anything, again, especially in the kind of mid management or higher roles too, is you get to the kind of time to decision is faster, so you can make more decisions, and more decisions means you're moving faster, and so it's kind of this self accelerating thing that's happening.
Self-accelerating cycle.
Yeah.
In all of this, where does automation come in? Does it fuel creativity, or it just makes the processes go faster? Does it make them more efficient, more accurate? All of that, and then some more. What do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a combination of all, right? I think the more you can automate, right, you remove really the error and things like that. Now, obviously, these models are also introduce some error. But what's interesting too is, we're very like concerned about hallucinations and like, oh, like what's the error rate of these models, et cetera, et cetera. But if you think about it, humans are our algorithms that are running up here are also not perfect, right? So like we do make mistakes and we do have some kind of error rate, the famous human error, right, that you have to control for, even in science or whatever it is you're doing. So if anything, I think it's a little counterintuitive, but these models, they'll have a little bit of error, but the point is it'll probably be on par or better than humans anyway. And if it can remove these repetitive tasks, again, it allows us to make those decisions faster. So I think it's kind of across the gambit on all those things. It's efficiency, it's speed, but then it's also allowing, again, creativity, the strategic side, more of the human side. If anything, I think it'll augment the human side of what we do.
So I know we discussed this, but we'll come back to the job loss concerns. Do you see enterprises being able to turn this concern into an opportunity for their teams? We actually spoke about this part a little bit when you said that you'll be able to, maybe hire more people to do the work. So then probably business also goes up. But I'm talking about completely from the business perspective. Do you think these fears of job loss can be converted into opportunity for teams in terms of business output?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely. Even some of the verticals we serve, like you said, right? I'm Chief Innovation Officer here at Epicor. What we do is we provide ERP for the supply chains of the world, manufacturers, distributors, and retailers. We've launched this new capability called Prism. By the way, it's coming to the UK probably in the next few months. But the point is, we were the first in the world to launch it here in the Americas in conversational ERP. The revolution is that, hey, before you had to understand how this software worked. It was very complex software, and you have to know where to click and do this, right? And so if you have a question, you either know how to do it or you have to get someone that knows how to do it. Well, what's happening more and more now is, now you can just talk to it. And now you can just ask your question. And so in a manufacturing setting where before maybe your decision had to wait 24 hours because you had to get IT to confirm this one, where did I ship this item last Tuesday yesterday in the morning? I don't remember, right? And so to do that, you'd have to maybe open a ticket and figure out or ask someone in the ERP. But now you can just ask that question. And now in seconds, so where before maybe you had to wait a day to get to your decision, now you have it in a second. Now you multiply that through all the vectors of a company, right? Just that small augmentation. Now that again leads to more decisions happening every day. That's speed. That's innovation. That allows you to be more competitive. So we're seeing it even in just in our in the customers we service. And that's not to say even, right, you have OpenAI, XAI, Anthropic, all these other companies too that are absolutely disrupting the way that business is run as well. So yeah, no, I think it is an opportunity, and we're just at the beginning. Is what's most exciting.
And the next question I had for you was also about OpenAI, how it is changing everything, even the process of development. So how do you think prompting is changing software creation, especially when it is so ably supported by tools like ChatGPT or other tools that enterprises can use?
Yeah, I mean, I think in many, many ways, because obviously the most natural way of thinking about it is, hey, now I can go from English, right, or from language, not necessarily English, because actually you can speak to it in many languages. But go to the computer language, right? So it could be right, Python, Java, whatever it is that you're writing in. But we're in our world, where also gets really interesting too, is there's a lot of systems out there, especially systems of record, that are even written in older languages, right? And in many times too, is the documentation of those older languages or the way that system was implemented may not be clear anymore. That person retired, right? That person's gone, or what have you. So where it gets really powerful too is coming backwards, right? Is saying, okay, so what is this code doing, right? And so that's where the creative side of the developers can then come in and say, so this is the thing that it's doing. Oh, okay, so now maybe we can do it this way in the new system, right? Or in the cloud, or whatever it is that you're designing. So it's also coming the other way. So yes, absolutely, it is changing the way that we operate and the outcomes that it's going to drive. in the software industry are revolutionary.
So I have another question which is not been documented here, but I'm sure you will have some idea about it. Is what about the customer's perspective of all of this? We have just spoken about how enterprises are, looking at development of software or, making it run for user enterprises. Have you ever faced any customer feedback on it, good, bad, whatever? How is the market taking it?
Yeah. So absolutely. So I think what's actually happening is, and again, coming back kind of to ERP and what we do, because actually this is really important to what we call time to value. So I'll explain a little bit what that means. In ERP, right? So like whenever you're implementing this software within your business, there will be things that run right in a traditional way, right? So like out of the box functionality, but there's many things, right? So to getting that last mile is the customizations that our customers do to get it to run in their business, right? Because they do unique right? Every business is doing unique things. And so that process can take a long time, right? And it's expensive because you need people that understand the system, that can code in the system, that can code into our ERPs. But we're introducing now, and as part of Prism, is actually being able to go from language directly to these customizations. So what we're seeing is that time to value, where before maybe an implementation would take 18 months, right? Now it's getting reduced to 12, and it's going to get reduced to 9, 6, 1 month, right? And so now now an ERP implementation will be measured in weeks, not measured in months or years. And so what that's going to do is completely change kind of the competitive landscape of this industry. But what's more important for our customers, and we've gotten this feedback, is it's actually going to put it's going to give more freedom to the customers and more pressure on the service providers, which is great for us, right? We get more competition. I like competition, which is good. We get better, and the customers get a better service. So I think, yeah, it's been overwhelmingly positive, and some of these results that we're seeing are astounding. The speed that we're moving.
And one last thought that just occurred to us is: are there any security concerns with so much of large-scale adoption of AI tools? In terms of almost anything, I'm guessing data privacy as well. Have you ever faced any security challenges? And if yes, then how do you propose that they can be mitigated?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a great question, and I think we've heard all the stories of, like, right, if you use some of these models and you put in, for example, proprietary IP, like, don't do that, right? Unless you're in an enterprise setting or something that's air gapped, right, to your enterprise's data. But like so absolutely, it is a concern. The way, and I think more and more people are innovating this way, but the way we do it is we actually take our models, our customer data, and our data ontology, right, that powers our systems, never leaves our systems. In fact, these large language models don't need to necessarily know the details of what exactly is the data. It just needs to understand, okay, what's the business logic behind this, right? And we do it all in an air gapped, similar to running on the cloud, right? So or having your corporate email on some kind of cloud provider, right? Whatever email interface you're using. And it's very similar, right? So like that data obviously is running in the cloud, could be in Microsoft Azure, AWS, wherever it is that is being stored. We, for the most part, as an industry, we're used to that, right? So we're used to that data being, it's the same concept. So instead of it now just being cloud, it is cloud, but then now it's powered by these large language models, and the data does not go off and train, unless obviously you want it to, or you sign some things that there might be a reason you'd want, right, to exchange. Hey, yeah, you can use my data to train, but I get some kind of value out of it. We're going to start seeing more and more of those kinds of models. But for us, what it's really important is security. We service manufacturers, distributors, and these are some of the most most critical parts of the supply chain that power our everyday society. So for us, yeah, security is number one, and the strategy we've taken is exactly that. Is the data is air gapped, never leaves, never goes off to train other models.
So those were the questions I had for you, and I have to thank you for the time you made for us today.
Thank you for joining us for the Enterprise Thought Leadership Podcast. Please do follow us on social media and subscribe for more ideas and insights. Until next time.